Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 1, Kim Owen. We warmly welcome the family of Private Arthur George Clarke, whose story will be told shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Return and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Club Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family, visitors to the memorial, and students on behalf of Iona Presentation College visiting from Mossman Park, Western Australia. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is got by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. If you're able, you may be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private Arthur George Clarke. Arthur George Clarke was born on the 26th of January 1888 to Arthur and Annie Clarke in the Queensland town of Gatton. His mother died before his first birthday. Arthur, known as Art to his family and friends, attended the local school. After leaving school, he followed his father's profession and became a butcher in Gatton. Clarke volunteered for service in the Australian Imperial Force in June 1915. At this point in the First World War, the AIF was in the process of doubling in size and needed recruits. Clarke undertook his initial training at a Nogra camp in Brisbane. In early September, he embarked on the troopship Ayrshire at Sydney. From there, he sailed to the Australian Army camps in Egypt, where his training continued into the new year. In February 1916, he joined the 49th Australian Infantry Battalion. This newly raised unit comprised Gallipoli veterans from the 9th Battalion and new recruits from Australia like Clarke. While in Egypt, Clarke wrote several letters to his younger brother Jack, asking about the family at home. Describing the heat, sand and flies, he reassured his brother that conditions in the camp had not been as bad as reports in Australian newspapers might have suggested. In June 1916, the 49th Battalion sailed from Egypt to the French port of Marseille. From there, the men travelled north by train to positions near the Somme River, soon to be the site of a major British offensive. The unit spent time training behind the lines and at the front. During August, the battalion was in reserve trenches near the town of Albert when the German artillery barrage fell on their position, killing 3 men. In September, Clarke participated in an attack on Mouquet Farm, a German strongpoint north of the town of Pozières. At dawn on the 3rd of September 1916, the 49th Battalion was one of several Australian units that attacked the German trenches around the ruined farmhouse. Opposition was strong, and the attackers faced German rifle and machine gun fire, as well as grenades, and later in the day, artillery barrages. Private Clarke was killed during the attack. He was 28 years old. The record suggests that Clarke's body was buried by his comrades near where he fell. The region around Pozières, however, was fought over for the next 2 years, and in the fighting, the location of his grave was lost. Arthur Clarke's name is inscribed on the Villers-Bretonneux Memorial in France, alongside the names of more than 10,000 Australians who died fighting in France during the war, who have no known grave. Private Arthur George Clarke is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Arthur George Clarke, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We'll remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.